Mark, chapter 9. And he said to them, Truly I say to you, that there are certain of those standing here who may not taste of death until they see the kingdom of God having come in power. And after 6 days Jesus takes Peter and James and John and brings them up to a high mountain by themselves, alone. And he was transfigured before them, and his garments became glittering, exceedingly white as snow, so as a launderer on the earth is not able to whiten them. And there appeared to them Elijah with Moses, and they were talking with Jesus. And Peter answering says to Jesus, Rabbi, it is good to us to be here, and we may make 3 shelters, for you one, and for Moses one, and for Elijah one. For he was not knowing what he might say, for they were greatly afraid. And there came a cloud overshadowing them, and there came a voice out of the cloud saying, This is my Son, the beloved. Hear him. And suddenly, having looked around, they saw no one any more, but Jesus only with themselves. And as they are coming down from the mountain, he charged them that they may declare to no one the things that they saw, except when the Son of Man may rise out of the dead. And the thing they kept to themselves, questioning together what the rising out of the dead is. And they were questioning him, saying that the scribes said that Elijah must come first. And he answering said to them, Elijah indeed, having come first, restores all things. And how has it been written concerning the Son of Man, that he may suffer many things, and be set at nothing? But I say to you that also Elijah has come, and they did to him whatever they willed, as it has been written of him. And having come to the disciples, he saw a great multitude around them, and scribes questioning with them. And immediately all the multitude, having seen him, were amazed, and running near, were greeting him. And he questioned the scribes, What do you dispute with them? And one out of the multitude answering said, Teacher, I brought my son to you, having a mute spirit, and wherever it seizes him, it tears him, and he foams and gnashes his teeth, and pines away. And I spoke to your disciples that they may cast it out, and they were not able. And he answering him said, O generation unbelieving, until when will I be with you? Until when will I suffer you? Bring him to me. And they brought him to him, and he, having seen him, immediately the spirit convulsed him, and he, having fallen on the earth, was wallowing, foaming. And he questioned his father, How much time is it since this came to him? And he said, From childhood. And many times it also cast him into fire and into water, that it might destroy him. But if you are able to do anything, help us, having compassion on us. And Jesus said to him, If you are able to believe, all things are possible to the one that is believing. And immediately the father of the child, having cried out with tears, said, I believe, Lord, be helping my unbelief. Jesus, having seen that a multitude runs together, rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, Spirit, mute and deaf, I charge you, come forth out of him, and you may no longer enter into him. And having cried and convulsed him much, it came forth, and he became as dead, so that many said that he was dead. But Jesus, having taken him by the hand, lifted him up, and he arose. And he, having come into the house, his disciples were questioning him by himself, Why were we not able to cast it forth? And he said to them, This kind is able to come forth with nothing except with prayer and fasting. And having gone forth there, they were passing through Galilee, and he did not wish that any may know, for he was teaching his disciples, and he said to them, The Son of Man is being delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him, and having been killed, the 3rd day he will rise. But they were not understanding the saying, and they were afraid to question him. And he came to Capernaum, and being in the house, he was questioning them. What were you reasoning in the way among yourselves? And they were silent, for they reasoned with one another in the way, who is greater. And having sat down, he called the 12, and he says to them, If any wills to be first, he will be last of all, and minister of all. And having taken a child, he set him in the midst of them. And having taken him in his arms, said to them, Whoever may receive one of such children in my name receives me, and whoever may receive me does not receive me, but him who sent me. And John answered him, saying, Teacher, we saw a certain one casting out demons in your name, who does not follow us, and we forbade him, because he does not follow us. And Jesus said, Do not forbid him, for there is no one who will do a mighty work in my name, and will be readily able to speak evil of me. For he who is not against us is for us. For whoever may give you to drink a cup of water in my name, because you are Christ's, truly I say to you, he may not lose his reward. And whoever may cause to stumble one of the little ones believing in me, better is it for him if a millstone is hanged around his neck, and he has been cast into the sea. And if your hand may cause you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life maimed than having the 2 hands to go away into Gehenna, into the fire, the unquenchable, where their worm is not dying, and the fire is not being quenched. And if your foot may cause you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life lame than having the 2 feet to be cast into Gehenna, into the fire, the unquenchable, where their worm is not dying, and the fire is not being quenched. And if your eye may cause you to stumble, cast it out. It is better for you to enter into the kingdom of God one-eyed than having 2 eyes to be cast into the Gehenna of fire, where their worm is not dying, and the fire is not being quenched. For everyone will be salted with fire, and every sacrifice will be salted with salt. The salt is good, but if the salt may become saltless, in what will you season it? Have in yourselves salt, and have peace in one another.